What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into the channel. My name is Rock Soldier, and today we're going to be reacting to Vincent's Tale, Starry Night. I tried to react in my last batch of recordings to Vincent's Tales, The Bedroom, and I just had some absolutely unfortunate and tragic recording mishaps, and like I had kind of already recorded the whole thing before realizing it, and so I couldn't release it to you guys, unfortunately. You just like literally could not hear anything I was saying. And unfortunately, you kind of really can't react to a video. It's not really much of like a reaction at that point. It's almost more of like a breakdown type deal. So I did watch that one, and I am caught up on all that. So super excited to check out Starry Night. We're gonna hop right into it. Let's get it. Not looking good for Vincent. A little bit of a shiner. I like that effect.
How do I begin? Wait a minute, I know. Step one, I repent. Step two, let me go. No, three, maybe I show you remorse for my crime. Fuck that, let me speak my mind. So allow me to introduce myself to your manifestation of everybody in this room. Ever felt discarded by a system that's regarded to be something for the people, but the people disregarded, it's retarded. Putting all the power in the palms of the heartless. Lions don't care when chewing on carcass. Homeless levels rise and the politicians pardon. Slave labour wage docking pay for the farmers. Britain, Great Britain, no, you're a slave. Great Britain, tax bracket rise, grow. Give a tax break for a suit and tie on the low. Well, the everyday people getting fucked till they broke, so let me unload, I'm on a roll, I never vote, big in the polls, Britain the road, who to control when there is no food in the bowl. It's a low blow, representatives don't show empathy, plain to see, represent me, no soccer. Britons break backs just for bread and butter. Fuck the PM, did they stutter? In the PM, there'll be bodies in the gutter. Blood-stained hands, milk up poor land's udder. 9 to 5, can't survive away just to work in a job that can't provide. It's by design, my hands are tied, I climb that, on this that, how the fuck can I pretend it's fine? The water is never wine, a pig steps to the slaughter. Before your eyes, it's for the new world order. Except our minds, court of law, a horse who will bend for bribe. All the while, people watch reality.
I really like how this is almost like a acapella of sorts. Like obviously he's got like some effects and stuff on the beat and like the vocalization of the beat, but like it really is just like a lot of like clapping and stomping with some like vocalizations in there, which I really catchy, for what it is, and shout out to him. So yeah, I mean obviously Vincent, finally gets out of his cell. Was drinking in his cell in the bedroom video, so obviously hasn't quite kicked the addiction there in terms of drinking, but obviously he's a frustrated guy who's kind of been dealt a shitty hand and hasn't done a great job of trying to get better cards, so to speak. And he's here in this like group session, I guess kind of venting, for a lack of better words.
Bread and butter, fuck the PM, did they stutter? In the PM, there'll be bodies in the gutter. Blood-stained hands, milk up poor land's udder. 9 to 5, can't survive away just to work in a job that can't provide. It's by design, my hands are tied, I climb that, on this that, how the fuck can I pretend it's fine? The water is never wine, a pig steps to the slaughter. Before your eyes, it's for the new world order. It's accept our minds. Court of law, a horse who will bend for bribes. All the while, people watch reality TV, sleep easy, wake and repeat the cycle. Are you taking the Michael? Better beat it up. City full of sheep tweeting on the social media. Tabloid twisting tails and it's causing mass hysteria. Polarize the people, never by the hand that's feeding you. When it comes to war, they'll be calling for you, needing you. Fighting for a cause that wasn't yours, and leaving you. Hyperpolarizing the left and the right. Are you woke? Are you racist? Black? Are you white? Are you all for the bread?
I mean, it really just seems like in general he's really just calling for, the government to do better by its people. I mean, ultimately, even here in America, there's a lot of jobs that just like unfortunately don't provide in the way that is needed, to even have like a comfortable life. A lot of jobs are underpaying, and when you're living paycheck to paycheck, that obviously invokes a whole lot and a whole different series of problems. Um, having to worry about putting food on the table, paying your bills, like you said, you may get into debt and then you're worrying about trying to get out of debt. For a lot of people when they go to college and stuff, you kind of start out your professional career in debt. And so you're kind of already working from behind. And if you're not able to, get in with a good company or a good paying company, it can be very hard to get yourself out of that. And I mean, there's just so much to it. So, I mean, I think like really the call for the people in charge to kind of do something differently to provide better for its citizens is, not necessarily like an unreasonable ask, and it is very, very frustrating for a lot of people, unfortunately.
War, they'll be calling for you, needing you. Fighting for a cause that wasn't yours, and leaving you. Hyperpolarizing the left and the right. Are you woke? Are you racist? Black? Are you white? Are you all for the Brexit? Make a swift exit. The NHS rots. Where was tax directed? Look, there goes another fucking puppet elected. Dance, little puppet, dance for the neglected. Impunity from true flies come to be expected. Sever head of Hydra, two parties resurrected. Yes, I am the malevolent, degenerate delegate. Incarcerate the truth, keep it separate. The fabric of society is deadlicker. They don't want me in the room, I'm the elephant. Let's go. I guess I was fucked from the get-go. Wrong place and wrong time, guess so. Wrong planet, wrong mind. Guess you could say I was destined to break, because I get no satisfaction. I roll stoned, ETAs with ET, I phone home. ETC, don't blink, life is gone. Time don't wait, the show must go on. In London underground, come rain and thunder. Junkies, drunks and punks stung by the hunger. God is good until life push you under. One by one become cold like the tundra. One by one cast out like pariah. Sever head from body, so body bow to Messiah. Boy cry wolf, everybody soon expire. Run, little liar.
Yeah, I mean, like all these issues like really do kind of invoke like, a lot more, crime and just, really just kind of, I don't know what the best way to put it is, but, I guess just like bad behavior for a lack of maybe a more intricate wording of it. But I mean, when you have all these problems and you like feel there is no way out, I mean, like, some people kind of, cross that line, so to speak, to try to fix things, I mean, because it is unfair and in a lot of ways it can be out of, that individual's control. Um, I don't believe that means that like you should cross that line. And I do think you should try to take control of your own life as much as possible. But that's obviously easier said than done, of course.
Soon expire. Run, little liar. Democracy ain't corporate lobby free for all. Democracy ain't rich boys, silver spoon seniors. Democracy ain't eating up a lie then forgiving you. Democracy ain't choosing between herpes or chlamydia. Democracy, hypocrisy, a synonym entwined. Take a baby, then deliver him, position him in line, and then imprison him, condition him in school to make him blind. After they christen him, the Father, Son, the ghost, but not the mind. We are divine, we lose potential when we gravitate to greed. We are benign, we turn to cancer when we take more than we need. We are designed to be magnificent, we waste that when we war. A starry night, the plight of Vincent inside cell block 44. I fought a war inside myself, the war of every working man. A war of what's and why's and how's, and when's the time to take a stand? And who's the one to put me in my place? You, or is it God? It's compliance, staying silent. If defiance comes from love, I come from love. I come from hope, I come from truth, I come from trust. I am the last from
That's very interesting, and like I definitely probably missed some of that there, but I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I do think like people are magnificent and spectacular and extraordinary, and for like the average person, yeah, I don't think most people like want to turn to any kind of um, life of malice of any sort, right? Um, but I mean, I guess I suppose there is that question like when do you take a stand? When do you stand up for yourself? When do you stand up for what's right? And when do you push for something that's better, not only for yourself, for others around you, for future generations? I mean, he's kind of saying that there is no democracy, so to speak, that we're kind of just stuck in this cycle run by the people who basically hold the power over us, and they design the system and game the system. um, and I think that that makes it incredibly hard to flourish and prosper, um, within that system, because it is designed to kind of keep those in power, keep the rich rich, and it's not really designed for people to move up, um, and to like further themselves to that extent, so to speak. So, I mean, very very interesting point. Obviously, there's a whole lot going on.
Waste that when we war. A starry night, the plight of Vincent inside cell block 44. I fought a war inside myself, the war of every working man. A war of what's and why's and how's, and when's the time to take a stand? And who's the one to put me in my place? You, or is it God? It's compliance, staying silent. If defiance comes from love, I come from love. I come from hope, I come from truth, I come from trust. I am the last remaining push inside a world that turns to dust. Against the people so determined, go to die. And for what? Love of power, love of money, love of ego, love of lust. What about love for the sake of love? What about really loving us? But I mean really loving us. That means that I, the me, myself is you, and so we're we in one. And there's never separation while we're moving round the sun. For the cell of every sentient, it shares a single song, and that's the song of sweet creation. Do you hear the minstrel strong? For there's more to music, life is music, music is the tongue. In the mouth of Mother Earth, and her heart beating is the drum. Hear it, hear it, hear it. That's that thunder in your chest that lets you know that you belong. We are one, we are one, we are free to one song. Something better, better, yet reset so we can all live on.
I love how like these beats like always just like change in so many different directions. Like they really do take you on a roller coaster. Shout out to Ren for providing that experience. I mean, it's like super creative. Um, yeah, I mean, like I genuinely think that like most people, like they're not like most people aren't asking for a lot or asking for an unreasonable amount. Most people just want to be able to live a comfortable life that doesn't revolve around working or living paycheck to paycheck. Like people want to be able to afford to do things that they enjoy. Maybe go on a couple vacations a year. Spend time with their family. Kind of eat what they want, and I think for the most part that is the general population of the world. Most people just want to have a comfortable life. I mean, of course, there's people that want more and want to maybe hold some power or be extremely wealthy to some extent. But I do generally think that for the most part people just want to live a comfortable life and you know have a happy life, have a family, whatever it is they want, right? And I don't think that's necessarily an unreasonable desire by any means.
We are one, we are one, we are free to one song. Something better, better, yet reset so we can all live on. Vincent! 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 Oh, good, he's waking up. Vincent, dear boy, I can feel your frustration, but you're in very safe hands here now. Please be patient. You see, we are the cutting edge rehabilitation. Don't you feel so excited for this new innovation? Nah, guards, what the fuck, man? I think I wanna leave. Oh, leave? I'm afraid that that's impossible, see? You see, we're part of a new program. It's a government scheme. We're making gentlemen from criminals, and that's what you'll be. With a brand new method to sort of trials and tests. Like our good godson, you'll be resurrected. What the fuck you on about? What kind of brand new method? Well, we take the frontal lobe and we kind of dissect it. With your synapse augmented with our new serum injected, it aims to recorrect the parts of you we know are defective. There'll be discomfort in your cerebellum, that is expected. Hey, if progress wants a price, let it. Guards, this one will do. Yes, this one's fine. Take him away.
All right, so that was Ren, Vincent's Tale, Starry Night. And really enjoyed this one. I do really wish I was able to release the bedroom, as well, because I think overall, like from like a musical standpoint, I enjoyed the bedroom a bit more than this one. But I thought this one was great in its own right. Super interesting story, and it definitely seems like they're probably going to be another part at some point. Um, I love these like tales, so to speak, where he kind of uses these stories to talk about like real life problems and real world situations. Obviously, I think there's like a lot of like hyperbole, in these music videos and whatnot. Like, I don't think Ren is necessarily calling for people to riot, and all that stuff, but I think he is calling for people to maybe think about the changes that need to be made. I think it's very easy in today's world to just be kind of comfortable in your own bubble. Um, and not consider what's like really happening around you. I think he is calling for a change of some sorts. And again, I don't think the desire for a comfortable life, where you're able to kind of do the things that you want, to a certain extent, is an unreasonable desire or ask. I've kind of always said, I don't live to work, I work to live. Um, and so I don't think life should revolve around working. I don't think it should revolve around living paycheck to paycheck and paying the bills. I think you should be able to enjoy life. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to work 40, 50 years, and wake up one day and realize that they're old and now they can't do the things that they want to, maybe because they're not physically able, or maybe they're still financially unable. Or you wake up one day and you realize that you kind of just like wasted your life, maybe focusing on things that like really aren't that important or meaningful. At the end of the day, we only have so much time on this planet, each and every one of us. And I think to a certain extent, we gotta make the most of it while we're here. So, but overall, I enjoyed this one, and hopefully you guys did as well. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, hit that sub button, hit that bell, we're dropping the next one. But that's all I got for you guys for now. It's your boy Rock Soldier. Hope you guys see your night, even better tomorrow, and I'll talk to you in the next one. All right, guys, peace.